more Ghost Rider. Please support the official release. Greetings, it is Crusader Forge, here with What If Deku had the Ghost Rider. Now, I will go over what kind of Ghost Rider Deku will have before we start. This will be the first video. I will not start until part 2. This will not be a long video, as you can probably tell. But, I'm going to start off by saying there are a lot of versions of the Ghost Rider out there in the MCU. There is the version of the original comic book, the one from the newer comic book. There is the one from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is about the same as the newer comic book. I think it is the same, actually. There is the one from the movies that Johnny Cage played in. And there are, like, Angel Ghost Rider one where his flames are blue instead of, fiery red and orange. But, no, we will be focusing around the one that is the movie version that is played by Johnny Cage, because I believe that is a appropriate example of the Ghost Rider. If you want to convince me otherwise, go ahead, but I'm going to be sticking with this for story and easy purpose. He has no short-range teleportation like the one from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. At least I've read that he does. But there will be no short-range teleportation through fire portals like Scorpion. There will be... He can, of course, imbue Hellfire into his vehicles and weapons, turn them into Hellfire versions. He has basic Hellfire manipulation, as in, he can conjure a little bit in his hand, throw it. He can breathe Hellfire. He can, of course, turn into the Ghost Rider. And when in Ghost Rider form, he is more or less indestructible. The Hellfire acts as a rapid healing agent with the bones and a defensive armor, like that of Diamond from Minecraft, or some impenetrable armor. Of course he can die, but that's by special means, like high-class angels like Michael, Azrael, all these other angels that I don't know their names of, like high-class archangels, or God, or Lucifer, or whatever you want to call him, or like any high-class god in general. Mutants, super metahumans, and people won't be able to kill the Ghost Rider unless they have a special weapon from high-class gods, of course. So, say if Bakugo wanted to go bam bam on Deku's face, it wouldn't do nothing. Well, actually it would if he was in regular form. It would burn parts of his face, but it would heal fairly quickly thanks to the Ghost Rider. With that, there is the Ghost Rider will indeed be a separate entity. Of course, Zarathos, as he always is. If you don't know what Zarathos is, I don't know why you're here, but I like your enthusiasm. If you don't know, stick around to the end of the video, and I'll tell you, or I might tell you in a little bit. That's about the end of the video. I'm an idiot. But, he can... I just lost my train of thought. Let's see. He can summon chains from exposed parts of his body, like say if he took off his glove, he can summon chains out of his hand through his Hellfire, or through his mouth, Or if he feels like burning and repairing his clothes, he can just be stylish and like shoot it out of his elbows. And elbows like Sero, tape guy, and his shoulders. That is all the powers I can think of. Now on to abilities. Powers being like all the ones I just listed, and abilities being one guy like Usain Bolt. His ability is to run like super freaking fast. I consider abilities to be more physical, so that's what I'm gonna say. He has superhuman strength to the point where lifting a few fridges is quite easy. Of course, in Ghost Rider form, but in regular form, Deku will have a smaller amount. He can pick up a fridge. Let's see. Let's go with before he started training with All Might, with the powers of Zarathos. He can pick up a fridge with much difficulty, much less than a normal person. He can pick it up much easier, but harder as well. I don't know what to say. And superhuman agility, endurance, as well, is basically indestructible, so the endurance part kind of explains itself. Agility, he mostly relies on his bike, but he is really fast, superhuman speed fast. If you haven't seen the movies, please watch them. Very easy, just look up Ghost Rider on Netflix. Those give basic explanation of all his powers. He is not like Charmander, where somebody can just extinguish his flames and poof, he's dead. No, even in the second movie, technically, it explains that, but he can just reignite himself depending on certain willpower. Though I would consider it to be a type of knocked unconscious type of deal. But things like a backhand to the neck in his Ghost Rider form won't affect him because there's no nerves to do the backhand, of course. And his Ghost Rider form will increase the temperature. Maybe not drastically, but it will increase the temperature. If people try to touch him, it will be harmful to them unless he allows it. And yeah. So onto the Zarathos explanation. I will be referring to, when I mention the Ghost Rider that's not Deku, I will be referring to him as Zarathos. Onto the backstory. Zarathos was originally the Angel of Justice, created by God to help him and his other sons, or Zarathos' brothers and sisters, to protect Earth, Heaven, and keep the demons and Lucifer at bay. But during a war, Mephisto, who is not the devil, he says he's the devil, but that's because he's powerful. Mephisto, a high-class demon, close to the devil, but not quite the devil. He kidnapped Zarathos and tortured him into submission, into control, to where if he wills it, Zarathos does it. He turned into the spirit of vengeance. And Mephisto uses Zarathos as his bounty hunter to collect him more souls for Mephisto to get more powerful. Like the contract of San Venganza, where that contract was worth 1,000 souls. 2 Ghost Riders were sent after that. The first one, an older generation, I forgot his name, but he was the first to go after it. He discovered how powerful it was and quote-unquote, outran the devil like no man before. He You can also imbue, this brings me to another topic I forgot to bring up. You can imbue your animals with hellfire, turning them into hellfire animals or skeletons of the like. Because that Ghost Rider, he was a cowboy. He had a horse that he rid, not a motorcycle. And, you see, a horse. And he imbued it with hellfire to ride very fast. And, then he sent Johnny Cage, or the newest Ghost Rider in a sense, after it, found that older generation of Ghost Rider, got trained a little by him, got told of the contract, declined the contract, and I think eventually he gave Zarathos up, but he got him back to save a little boy who was the son of Mephisto, but that's not really going to happen in here. This is just, it's not going to happen. Now, I hope you enjoy the next part, which I will release either tomorrow or a few minutes after this video is posted. But please, if you'd like to see more videos like this, as in, what if Deku had the Sharingan, or the Rinnegan, or basic powers other than One for All. Not basic, but like, you know what I mean. Different powers from different pop cultures. Like if he had a devil fruit, like the Gum Gum fruit or the Chop Chop fruit. There's a lot of different of those that are like really dumb, but you get what I mean, please. So, if you would like to see more stuff like this, like the video. If you'd want to get notifications of more videos, subscribe and hit the like button. I'm not forcing you to do anything. It would just help me make more videos for you. This is Crusader Forge, signing off.